I हम इतने ही हैं. I would request all of you to come. यहाँ पे आ जाओ, इतने ही हैं. Maybe there'll be another 4 5 people joining, but that's our Sunday today. Thank you. Thank you. This is going to be really fun. How many of you are performing? All of you are performing? Oh, you are. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. How many of you are performing for the first time? Anyone? First time? Great, great. Welcome. Okay, yeah. That still counts. Thank you so much for coming. Before I start, I just want to know how you guys are feeling. So tell me how you're feeling without telling me why. We don't need to know why. You could be feeling anything. Yeah.
I'm excited, like I'm viewing it for the first time live. So
Okay. You've seen Poetry
like
Open Mics
I
before?
have seen in YouTube, but like,
Okay,
for
okay.
the first time.
This one YouTube or you've seen any other open
Like-
mic?
Like
You've-
Habitat, I have.
Okay. Well, welcome. Very happy that you could make it live.
And I'm really excited because it's been a very long time that I've performed on this stage. So
Yeah?
to be back on stage, I'm excited.
That's mad. How long has it been? The last time you?
It's been around a year and a half.
I am very happy that you're here.
I'm very happy, excited to perform.
That's lovely.
Excited and nervous.
Yes.
I'm relaxed.
That's nice. That's you are actually living the Sunday more than.
मैं उठा ही 10 बजे.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I woke up at 10:30. I'm glad. Hi, ma'am. Just ask everyone how they're feeling without telling us why you're feeling that. So, how are you feeling?
Again, I'm relaxed. I woke up at 11.
That's-
But I rushed.
Okay. See, it's either ways, Either you wake up early and panic and rush, or you wake up late and then panic. Like, whatever, yeah. Panic is a part of our lives, guys. This is it. But thank you so much. I'm feeling all of these things. It's very exciting. It's been a while since I hosted, so that's nice. My name is Harsh, before I forget. I do that a lot. Forget telling my name. My name is Harsh. I'll be your host for this afternoon. This is it. We're going to be a few of us. I like narrating stories, okay? And I was planning to do this story, which I will now do because you guys are still here. And this story is about my professor in college who came with us to an industrial visit and then he got drunk and got fired. So I'll tell you what happens. We'll get into it, okay? Basic rules. Everyone gets 4 minutes, okay? There's a timer right behind there that will keep tracking. 4 minutes mein you can do 4 pieces, 16 pieces, as long as you stick to 4 minutes. Second, have fun. We all woke up, panicked, made it here. So have fun. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I would say don't look at like this as a failed opportunity, but rather a space to like explore and experiment. Third, if you have any kind of trigger warning in your piece, just give it because how many of you are working? Anyone working today? You're still working after this? नहीं आज कोई काम कर रहा है? Okay, so let's give everyone a good Sunday instead of triggering them. So let's, you all have plans after this? Yeah, so let's just go succeed at them. Fourth, like I said, if you feel nervous, just say it's your first time. A lot of people just cheer and make, like it's very happening when you say it's like my first time. So if you feel very nervous, just say it's your first time. Even if it isn't, it's fine. No one's going to do quality check and be like, no, 3 months, 6 days ago you came. So don't worry about that. That's about it. See, we get time because we are these many of us. If we get time, we can do one more round after that. And if you guys are in, you can do. Yeah? Okay, cool. Can we just, see, since we are these many of us, can we just practice like cheering, clapping once? I just want to test the room and see like how, yeah, see? Great. Also, we're going to be live streaming this. It's going to be on YouTube. So, like you've seen it, you can just go on the YouTube channel. It's called Habitat Studios. You can take your video from there and you can upload on social media. Please do give credit. It's another chapter that I can do a whole 1 hour on about giving credit. But please do give credit. The team is working really hard for this. Photos you will get in your DM on Instagram in 3 to 4, 5, 6. You'll get it. If you're going to click everyone's photo.
Working months or working days?
Days. No, that's too much. Months is too much. No, we can't keep that much data. It's very scary. We lose track, after a week we lose track. If तो पहले क्या होता है इतना सारा हो रहा है So you'll get your photos, don't worry. We'll click everyone's photos, so don't worry about that. But if you have people who you want them to check your live stream, let them know that you're going to be live doing that. Cool, we can start. Hi. Yes. Are you guys ready to start?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there is no other option, guys. Yes is the only way forward. If you say no, I'll be like, we should begin, but there's no time. So let's do this, okay? Cheer for every person. Support them in whatever way you can, since we all are here. Let's listen to them. Let's have a good time. Let's create art. Let's talk to each other about art. It's going to be a fun open mic. Cool, okay? Let's begin. Let's. First performer, go mad. First performer. Can we please have Rahul? All the way from the third row, guys. Keep clapping till he comes on stage. Yeah, exactly.
Hi, my name is Rahul. This is my second time on Habitat. I'm here to do a poetry, and title is ऐसा क्यों. ऐसा क्यों. तुम कहती हो तुम मुझसे प्यार करती हो. तुम कहती हो तुम मुझसे प्यार करती हो, पर मैं जब जब तुमसे कुछ मांगूँ तुम तब तब इनकार करती हो. ऐसा क्यों. ये कैसी मोहब्बत है. कहते हैं मोहब्बत में सब बिना मांगे मिलता है. यहाँ तो मुझे मांगने पर भी कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है. कहते हैं मोहब्बत में सब बिना मांगे मिलता है. यहाँ तो मुझे मांगने पर भी कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है. यहाँ सच्चे आशिक पानी डाल रहे हैं और वहाँ झूठे लोगों के बगीचे में मोहब्बत का फूल खिल रहा है. ऐसा क्यों. कितनी नाइंसाफ़ी है ना. तुम जिसके बारे में सोच रहे हो वो किसी और के बारे में सोच रही है. तुम जिसके बारे में सोच रहे हो वो किसी और के बारे में सोच रही है. तुम जिसमें खुद को खोज रहे हो वो तुम में किसी और को खोज रही है. ऐसा क्यों. मुझे मोहब्बत तेरे जिस्म से नहीं तेरी बातों से हुई है. मुझे मोहब्बत तेरे जिस्म से नहीं तेरी बातों से हुई है. सज़ा दिल को क्यों दे रही हो, गलती तो कम वक्त आँखों से हुई है. मेरा दिल बहुत बुरी तरह टूटने वाला है और मैं इस बात से अनजान बैठा हूँ. मेरा दिल बहुत बुरी तरह टूटने वाला है और मैं इस बात से अनजान बैठा हूँ, क्योंकि वो मेरे सच को झूठ और मैं उसके झूठ को सच मान बैठा हूँ. प्यार के बदले प्यार मांगा था और वो मुझे बेवफाई दे रही थी. प्यार के बदले प्यार मांगा था और वो मुझे बेवफाई दे रही थी. ख़राब किस्मत है मेरी, मैंने उससे सच्ची मोहब्बत मांगी, वो मुझे झूठी सफाई दे रही थी. जिस तरह मैं तुझे याद करता हूँ, क्या तुझे भी कभी मेरी यादें सताती है. जिस तरह मैं तुझे याद करता हूँ, क्या कभी तुझे भी मेरी यादें सताती है. तेरे शब्द कुछ और कहते हैं और तेरी आँखें कुछ और बताती है. बस अब एक सवाल है तुमसे, ऐसा क्यों. जो प्यार मुझे मेरी आँखों में तेरे लिए दिखता है, मुझे वो प्यार तुम्हारी आँखों में किसी और के लिए दिख रहा है. जो प्यार मुझे मेरी आँखों में दिखता है, मुझे वो प्यार तुम्हारे लिए किसी और के आँखों में दिखता है. अगर रिश्ते में प्यार एक तरफ़ा हो तो वो रिश्ता ज़्यादा देर नहीं टिकता है. तू मुझे रुला कर नहीं थकती. आता तो मुझे भी है पर मैं तुझे रुलाना नहीं चाहता. तू मुझे रुला कर नहीं थकती. आता तो मुझे भी है पर मैं तुझे रुलाना नहीं चाहता. तुझे भूल तो मैं भी सकता हूँ पर मैं तुझे भुलाना नहीं चाहता. ऐसा क्यों. तुझ में और मुझ में ज़्यादा फ़र्क नहीं है. तू मुझसे मिलकर परेशान है और मैं तुझसे मिलने के लिए परेशान हूँ. तू मुझसे मिलकर परेशान है और मैं तुझसे मिलने के लिए परेशान हूँ. जो मेरे लिए मेरी जान है उसके लिए ही मैं अनजान हूँ. मैंने अपने से ज़्यादा खुशियाँ तुझे दी है. मैंने अपने से ज़्यादा खुशियाँ तुझे दी है. गलती तुमसे हुई है पर खुदा ने उसकी सज़ा मुझे दी है. ऐसा क्यों. मैं रिश्ता बचाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ और वो उसे तोड़कर जाने की बात कर रही है. मैं रिश्ता बचाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ और वो उसे तोड़कर जाने की बात कर रही है. मैं जिसके लिए दुनिया छोड़ने के लिए तैयार हूँ, वो दुनिया के बोलने पर मुझे छोड़कर जाने की बात कर रही है. ऐसा क्यों. इस ऐसा क्यों का उसके पास जवाब ही रह गया. इस ऐसा क्यों का उसके पास जवाब ही रह गया और मेरा उसे पाने का ख्वाब ही रह गया. थैंक यू.
Exactly. See, there's still Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being the first performer. How long have you been writing?
About a year.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Also, I've realized, seen open mics, every time someone talks about love, it's always like, this is your love. The minute someone talks about heartbreak, it's like, no, this is my story. This can't be your story. Right? Because the relatability I've seen, and love, it's like, ठीक है, होता होगा. In heartbreak, it's like, wow, this is, कुछ भी हो सकता है उसमें. You're like, yeah, this is real. This is happening. It's nice. It's very nice to see this. तो शुरू करें फिर. For those of you who came new, I'm doing this again. I'm sharing the story over this whole open mic about this professor of mine who got drunk and fired after an industrial visit. Okay? This is the basic plot of where this is going. Now, how many of you, give me a chair, okay? Give me a chair. Don't raise your hand. Give me a chair. How many of you have gone to college? No? ये क्या है? ये क्या है? सब गए ना? हाँ तो करो फिर. That was the whole point of the activity, is to get all of. Okay. We'll do it together, okay? Now think of this as school. Give me a cheer if you went to college. Great. Give me a cheer if you've gone to an industrial visit. Yes. Okay. For people who studied, so I'm from Bangalore. I'm not from Bombay. I've been here for 8 years. Bangalore is very different. Industrial visit means you go to a proper industry, do stuff. It's not like I've heard Bombay colleges go to Jaipur and like, you know, Goa and shit. Like, it's insane. Hamara, it was like outside the city. You go in the morning. It's like a picnic, but adult picnic. Yeah, where you go with your classmates to an industry, learn about it, and then come back and then go home. It's not like it's 7-8 din ka and all. It's very crazy. So, and I studied in this college called Christ University, which is known in places, I guess.
Still ranking third.
Sorry?
Still ranking third.
Yeah. चल रहा है उनका वो ठीक है. Every year Time magazine gives them first and they come out and say we are first. This is not related, but you know, I joined the course. It was BBM, and then because India में BBA के ही rankings थे, in my second year my college changed my degree to BBA, and then we were first again by Time magazine. Crazy college, okay. So Christ is known for like vigor. It's known for discipline. It's very crazy. I was doing BBA, so it was difficult. I couldn't keep even like 3.3% of the hair I have on my face right now. Because they've taken my ID card, which was also a debit card, and tell us to go shave and shit. So it's very strict. So it's very difficult to get permission for things in general. Once, so Coke and MTV had come together and said, "Tumhara pura college use karenge, we'll do this, we'll do that, it'll be crazy." And they were like, "Coke?" We were like, "Yeah." They were like, "Nahi chahiye sab. We are not associated with these shitty drinks." So they didn't do much. So college is very strict, all of that jazz. Okay? Now I used to study in this class, one of the sections. We had 4 sections. I was in D. From 8th standard, I have been in classrooms where everyone's been notorious. Everyone, okay? Like, I've been very shy and scared in school, and then eventually by degree I started talking. But all of my classmates have been crazy. Like, the whole college would know them, kinds of crazy. So this class also turned out like that. Now, to give you more context, we had a class teacher, okay? She was an amazing person, but on the first day of class, she came and she literally knew everyone's name, which was very freaky. पहली बार मिल रहे हम लोग, and you literally know who's that, and there were like 60-80 of us in a classroom. So she did a great job. She was strict, she was good, she was friendly, she was fun to be with, but you can't fuck around with her. But during this period that the story has occurred, she was pregnant, so she never came to college. So instead of her, we had an assistant teacher who was taking our class. Now, to give you context, this assistant teacher was the exact replicate of Babu Bhaiya, okay? You've seen Babu Bhaiya? Yeah. You've seen his rage? Will you take him seriously if he's in front of you getting angry? You wouldn't, right? You'd just be like, kya bol rahe ho yaar? Stop being so cute. So he was that for our classroom, okay? And imagine Babu Bhaiya teaching 60 to 80 degree students, okay? Very difficult. Like, you know, if you see the movie's context, 2 people would barely listen to him. So, like, imagine this person here, okay? And even our sir was Maharashtrian. He was very close to abusing a lot of times in Marathi, but he couldn't because of the reputed college and shit like that. So, ठीक है. So the point is, we had him, okay, teaching us. Now, all the teachers knew our class. So they were like, हमको नहीं जाना इन लोग के साथ. ठीक है, ये सर को लेके जाओ तुम. So the kids got to know that we are going to go to an industrial visit. We don't know where we're going, but we can take this sir. तो मज़े है मतलब, इतना tension नहीं है. Usually teachers would like bug us. Somehow, my classmates got permission to go to a vineyard for an industrial visit. Does it all make sense now? Why my professor got drunk somewhere? Okay. Cool. We'll come back to it. Okay, we'll come back to it. I'll call the next person. We'll come back. We'll have this conversation. Cool. Okay. You know what to do. Yeah, thoda hai. Can we please have Vikrant? Keep clapping. It's coming all the way from the third row. Keep clapping till he comes on stage.
Okay. I'll be starting with a piece called Acquiescence. Acquiescence is essentially something where you reluctantly agree to something like, ye bhi theek hai kind of thing, right? So yeah, here goes. 2.5 times I've had my heart broken. The 2 were slow deaths and the half a swift motion. Each left me more wary than I was before, of myself and the love that I long had in store. I met this girl lately, who was quite easy to like. We went out, we stayed in, it was a delight. The moment she said, though, if it was okay with taking this slow and just letting us sway. I tripped on the dance floor, the music was loud. Can we leave this place now? I asked her aloud. Our minds were still fuzzy, our eardrums still numb. And despite what I had thought of, I stood there so dumb. 2.5 times I had had my heart broken, and yet I had no way to utter the unspoken. I wanted to ask her, where do we go now? I wanted acceptance, but I did not know how. What was the meaning of taking it slow? Where does one end up by going with the flow? She looked up at me with a smile that knew the eddies of chaos that were brewing in my stew. She pulls me close and gives me a kiss. And I sense my rationale go amiss. Her embrace feels warm, and the night is cold. Unsure of the hand I am dealt, I heave a sigh and fold. The pit in my stomach holds substance of questions. The pit in my stomach holds questions of substance that vanish at once when I choose acquiescence. I can wait one more evening. I've spent all my youth pushing and postponing the moment of truth. There will be a day when I won't live with my lies, but tonight I'll be okay with the glint in her eyes. Thank you. ये ऐसे एक्विएसेंस वगैरह कर लोगे ना तो फिर नेक्स्ट पोएम का सीन आ जाता है. This is called Echoes. The speed of sound is 340 meters per second. Do you remember that question template from school? The one where they asked us to calculate the time in which you would hear an echo from a wall that was usually an exact multiple of 340 meters away? I remember that today as I stand by an echo point, the reflecting surface is a rather stony cliff that's a perfect multiple of 340 meters away. So I yell at the top of my voice, I love you! And wait. And wait, but there's no echo. Something must be wrong. I heard it the last time I was here, when the air was more crisp. Maybe today the air is out of breath. Maybe the cliff is covered with moss that I can't see because it's so many fucking multiples of 340 meters away. Maybe I'm just tired of screaming I love you to an inanimate object so far away. Maybe echoes are just not as much fun after the first few times. Maybe I need to stop yelling out I love you to immovable moss-covered monoliths that stand tall and bounce off sound only when the weather is right. Or maybe I need to find reasons to say I love you to myself. Thank you. I guess time is up. Thanks.
Come on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How long have you been writing?
Since whenever.
Since whenever? No,
years, yeah.
it's yours. Yeah, it's yours. But have you been performing also for these years, or you just been writing?
Performing once or twice in between, though.
Okay.
I used to do improv.
Okay, but you don't do improv anymore.
After the pandemic, it's just.
Okay. Yeah. Not discrediting anything from the pandemic, okay? But the pandemic felt like the 10th grade, you know? Like 10th grade is, you did everything in life, and then it just went away. So crazy. I'll call the next person before that. Industrial visit. 2 days later, we got permission to go to Vineyard. 2 days later, we're like, cool, let's do this. And we were all hush about it because we were like, किसी और classmate, किसी और को बोल दिया तो खत्म हो जाएगा. Let's just go, dude. These guys are very strict. Let's just go. 2 days later, we come. So usually industrial visit, we have to come to. Usually college starts at 9, so you have to come to college at 7 for industrial visit so that we can go and come back on time. We have done. This is my 3rd year. Okay, we have done so many industrial visits in 3 years that this was the first time everybody from college, from class, was there at 6:50 a.m. Like they were so excited. They're like, "Bhai, आज तो मचाना है, तो चलते." So everyone is there. Sir hasn't come still, okay? Then sir comes, ठीक है. Now the arrangement is there are 2 buses. One is a large bus, a normal, 40, 50 seater. One is a small tempo traveler, which is gonna go. So before we all could go into the bus, the sir, first of all, as soon as he came, he barely spoke to us. He seemed like he was really sleepy and he's late for college, like we were the professors suddenly. तो वो जाके बैठ जाते in the long bus. He goes and sits. He sits in the first seat next to the window with bottle on one side and tiffin on one side, okay? He was like that kid in school who was like, going to picnic for the first time, put his head out the window, shit like that. तो उसको पता नहीं कि पूरे बस में चल क्या रहा है. But this bus was fine. Okay, this bus was okay. It was fine. The tempo traveler, because it had no one in it, it had all of my other classmates who were drinking and were flying high, if you know what I mean. I can't really say it out loud. They were really flying and they were drinking. Do you understand? They were doing pre-party before going to a vineyard. This is the absurdest, most weird thing in the world. How many of you have gone to Goa by bus from Bombay, Bangalore, wherever else? You Goa, okay, some of you have gone.
Yeah.
For people who haven't, when you go to Goa, so they stop at these restaurants at night, just when you're in between whatever place in Goa. When you get down to have dinner, you can look at a group and know why they're going to Goa, right? Like there are different groups doing different things. There are already people getting high, okay? In one corner, you're like, acha, ye pata hai. Some people are drinking, some people are family, all of that jazz, right? So when we all reached the vineyard, the minivan was the party van. So they were suited for this environment. We were like a family trip reached like a techno party in Goa suddenly. Because they're just like, what's happening? Like, why is this? All of us were just like, wow, this is so cool. And these guys just like, yeah, bro, yeah, let's do it. Right? They were in the zone to do it. And so it was, as soon as we got down, we were made into 3 groups. There was group A that left to go inside to different process. Then there was group B. I was stuck with group C. And lucky guess, group C is the tempo traveler kids who were really flying when I was with them, okay? It was so weird because there's a lady who came in the beginning and she's showing us bottles and she's like, ye our heritage and we've been making wine for so many years and this jazz and all. There's a student standing next to me and he just looks at it and he's like, wow, dude. Wow, wine. Can we drink it? And she's like, no, it's a 50-year-old bottle, empty bottle, which is here to showcase you. And he's like, okay, cool. So group A left inside. Group B was waiting to go outside. I was with the group C. And guess who was also with group C?
Sir.
Babu Bhaiya, yeah, Babu Bhaiya also with the sir. He looked more lost than all of these kids together. Like, he looked so lost. It was like giving someone a culture shock after years of, You know, I can't explain also. It's like wine invented and nobody cared, and then suddenly one day Sir was shown so much of wine, so much of things around. So he was also very fascinated. But he also was like the child, the most childlike in all of them. Everyone also still being an adult, ki, oh yeah, wine. And he was just like still with his tiffin and bottle. Cool. I'll come back and tell you what happens. Okay. Next person. Start clapping. Thoda और. Can you please have Darshana? Keep clapping till she comes on stage. Little more. 30 more seconds.
Hi guys, myself Darshana. Since my piece is a little on the longer side, so I'll start with my piece directly. So the piece I'm performing is called Umr. इकलौती बच्ची है जिसे लाड प्यार ने इतना सर चढ़ा रखा है कि वो भूल जाती है कि हमारे होने से ही उसका अस्तित्व है। उम्र की मज़े की बात ये है कि उसने मुझ में और आप में फ़र्क नहीं किया। वो मेरे पास भी उतनी ही जन्मी जितना आपके पास। मुझे लगता है कि हमारी ढलती जवानी के साथ उम्र और जवान हो जाती है। उसकी कीमत उतनी बढ़ जाती है जितनी किसी घर में पहले बच्चे की गूंजती किलकारी की हो। लोग हर बात को उम्र से जोड़ने लगते हैं। सेहत, सपने, शहर, नौकरी और वो सब कुछ जो अधूरा रह जाता है डाल देते हैं उम्र के कंधे पर, होशियारी से, कि मुस्कुराते बच्चे के ओट में छुप जाए वो सब कुछ जो हमने चाहा तो पर पाने की कोशिश नहीं की। वो क्या है? हमारी उम्र हो चली है ना। आखिर हमारी हर बात उम्र से जुड़ी क्यों हो कि उम्र के साथ थामने पड़े हमें अपने कदम, समेटने पड़े अपने सपने। क्या देर से पूरे हुए सपनों को सपना नहीं कहते? जो लोग कोशिशें करते हैं उन्हें है गिला कैसा, क्या उनके अपने भी उन्हें अपना नहीं कहते? मेरे बचपन ने सुना है कि हर काम एक उम्र से हो जाए तो अच्छा। बेटे की नौकरी, बेटी का ब्याह, अपना घर, पिताजी की रिटायरमेंट और ना जाने क्या क्या। पर उम्र ने तो कभी नहीं सोचा कि 2 पल को रुक जाती हूँ, मैं ही थोड़ा थम जाती हूँ, इसके साथ ही तो आई हूँ तो इसकी धुन में गाती हूँ। बड़े प्यार से हम आप उम्र को अपना लेते हैं, उसके नाम के आगे मेरा, मेरी जैसे सर्वनाम लगाकर। उम्र भी हमें उतना ही अपना पाती है क्या? इंसान बांध लेता है खुद को अजीब से बंधनों में, खींच लेता है लकीरें अपने ही चारों तरफ, रोक लेता है खुद को वो सब कुछ जी लेने से जिससे उम्र शायद कभी ना रोकती। पर हमने चुना उम्र के साथ आए भार को, उसके साथ जुड़ी फिजूल जंजीरों को। पता है, इकलौते बच्चे भी ना हर बार गलत नहीं होते, लाड प्यार भी उन्हें बिगाड़ नहीं पाता। हमारी उम्र बच्ची है, ज़िद्दी है, बिगड़ी तो नहीं। अगर जज्बा तुम में हो तो कोशिशें उसकी भी नज़र आएंगी, फिर अपने तुम्हें बेशक ना अपनाए, उम्र तुम्हें अपनाएगी। मेरे दोस्त सपने जीने की कोई उम्र नहीं होती, अगर चाहत हो सच्ची तो किस्मत भी नहीं सोती। चलते रहना ही मुश्किल है और तुम हर पग रुक जाते हो, खुद से ही हारते हो और फिर खुद को ही समझाते हो कि हम तो सही हैं अपनी जगह, बस उम्र के आगे हारे हैं। क्या बतलाएं तुम सबको कि हम कितने बेचारे हैं। सुनो पड़ी है उम्र बहुत, तुम उससे हाथ मिलाओ तो वो चुन लेगी तुम्हारे रास्ते, तुम साथ उसे ले जाओ तो। पर तुम्हें ना हाथ बढ़ाना है, ना साथ उसे ले जाना है, मायूस सा एक दिल रखना है और सबको ये बतलाना है कि हमारी उम्र हो चली है ना। तो उम्र भी फिर मुस्काएगी, तुम्हारे ही सर चढ़ जाएगी, जी लेगी वो अपने सपने और लौट के फिर ना आएगी, क्योंकि उम्र की फितरत ही ऐसी है। वो भूल जाती है कि हमारे होने से ही तो उसका अस्तित्व है। शुक्रिया।
Thank you so much. How long have you been writing?
Writing since I was in 7th grade.
That's mad. Do you remember what led you to writing? Like in 7th?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah? Do you mind
No, I
sharing?
don't mind sharing.
Yeah. What is it?
So I used to go to an ICSE school. We used to have moral science lectures, and I was not very great at studying till 6th standard. 7th standard, something happened. One of my class teacher, like my class teacher came, and she is the most beautiful soul that I've ever met. So she started pushing me, you can do things and all of that.
Yeah.
Somehow I started getting better at studies and the moral science lectures. So she used to take it. So then one day she was like, okay, we'll have a thing that all of you will write a piece, like anything. Like none of us were poets then, obviously. But she was like, hey, we'll do this thing. You'll write about yourself.
Okay.
So I wrote this piece. I still have it in my diary called I Am a Girl.
Okay.
It's just a 8-liner piece, and that too, it has lines like I am a girl who believes in God, I'm a girl who does this, I'm a girl who does that, and I think 8 is thoda less, 10, 12 maybe.
Okay.
And the next day I go to school, and I was very happy with it, like
Yeah.
I've done something amazing.
Yeah.
And I go to the school, and my class teacher was like, she was checking what you all have written. So she was like, you have an option, you want to recite, you can recite, or you can just show. Or if you don't want to show, that is also okay, just let me know that you've done it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, कि recite नहीं हो पाएगा भाई.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I've written. So she gave me a star. That was the first star I've got after first standard.
Okay.
Because I grew bad at studying
Yeah.
actually. So yeah, that was the first star
Wow.
that I got. So that made me feel so good. And she had written good in a very beautiful handwriting. And like,
Matters. It matters. Yeah.
Because now that I'm a doctor, I know handwriting matters. So then I was like, I went home and I'm like, Mama, this happened. And my mom is very supportive. So, she was like, Ariva, this is very good.
Yeah.
And you should do this more often. This is one thing that my mom said, and it just went in my mind. I started writing and never shared. I didn't tell anyone until I joined college. And then my friends started pushing me to do it more and more. So yeah,
That's
how I
mad.
started.
That's mad. Thank you for sharing. Can we please have a round of applause for her? I wish I could go back in time, okay, and take nothing away from you but the teacher, push her to my school. That would make a big difference in my life. For me, 3rd standard was the downgrade. 3rd was the last time I got A. Uske baad it's like year, and then I passed 10th. Passed 12th. Very happy
I
in
was
life.
like first तक first तक शायद सभी अच्छे होते because मम्मी पढ़ रही होती है
Yeah.
And then I was like ठीक है ना पास होना है हो जाएंगे. Then it was 7th standard, yeah.
Wow, that's mad. That's mad. I'm glad this our lives, the roots could meet. So thank you so much for sharing again. Really appreciate it. Cool. Call the next person. Come back. We'll continue. Yeah. You know what to do. Can you please have Bharvi? Did I say it right? Okay. Hey, you focus.
Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. So sad souls. दोपहर के 12 बजे संडे को यहाँ पे हैं. But okay. So I am not from Mumbai. Traveled. It's been 9 years since I'm out. So my first piece is called Rail Gaadi, which encapsulates the very essence of when you leave the home. When you leave your home. रेलगाड़ी आगे बढ़ती जाती है. रेलगाड़ी आगे बढ़ती जाती है. घरों को मेरे शहर को पीछे छोड़ती जाती है. आकाश साथ में चलने की खूब मशक्क़त करता है. आकाश साथ में चलने की खूब मशक्क़त तो करता है मगर रेलगाड़ी तो आगे बढ़ती जाती है. चाय की प्याली लिए हवा का एक अनूठा झोंका मेरे चेहरे से टकराकर थोड़ा वापस मुड़ गया. जैसे मुझसे कह रहा हो कहाँ है तुम्हारी मंजिल. जैसे मुझसे कह रहा हो कहाँ है तुम्हारी मंजिल. या बेमंजिल सा है ये सफ़र. शायद कोई अंत नहीं है इसका क्योंकि रेलगाड़ी तो आगे बढ़ती जाती है. घरों को मेरे शहर को पीछे छोड़ती जाती है. कुछ टिमटिमाते तारों के नीचे से गुजरते हुए मेरे दिल में कुछ खिंच सा गया है. मेरे शहर का चांद भी मैं कहीं पीछे छोड़ आई हूँ. शायद रेलगाड़ी के जज्बातों को अब थोड़ा समझने लगी हूँ. कैसा लगता होगा उसे? कैसा लगता होगा उसे जब वो काफ़ी आगे बढ़ जाती है एक आँख की झपक के साथ? फिर सोचती हूँ थोड़ा रुक जाऊँ क्या? पर क्या ये शहर मुझे फिर से अपना पाएगा? क्योंकि रेलगाड़ी तो आगे बढ़ती जाती है, घरों को, मेरे शहर को पीछे छोड़ती जाती है. So I've written a 4-liner for Bombay. Okay, so this is my home now. But I went to Lonavala once, so the scenery, of course, it was mesmerized me. Of course, मतलब crowd को छोड़ के तुम पहाड़ों में जा रहे हो. It's like 180-degree shift. So बादलों के धुएं में धुआं हुए पहाड़ों की कहानी सुनो. बादलों के धुएं में धुआं हुए पहाड़ों की कहानी सुनो. अनजान रास्तों पर अनजान लोगों को चलते हुए देखा है इन्होंने. उन पहाड़ों से आती हुई पानी की सटीक लकीर की आवाज़ सुनो. उन पहाड़ों से आती हुई उस पानी की सटीक लकीर की आवाज़ सुनो. शहर के बीच गुम हुई बारिश की धुन को सुनो. So, हम प्यार की बातें कर रहे थे, जैसे आपने बताया. प्यार की बातें कर रहे थे एंड आपने बताया दिल टूटा था. थोड़ा पॉजिटिव नोट पे मैंने 4 लाइनें लिखी हैं. फिरदौस को दिल में आने तो दो, थोड़े जज्बात बतलाने तो दो. फिरदौस को दिल में आने तो दो, थोड़े जज्बात बतलाने तो दो. राब्ता हुए खुद से तो मिजाज अलग होगा. राब्ता हुए खुद से तो मिजाज अलग होगा, नहीं तो जीने का अंदाज अलग होगा. पर फिर दिल टूट जाता है तो ये पॉजिटिविटी चली जाती है गड्ढे में. फिर तुम उसी रोती शायरी पे आ जाते हो जो आखिरी की 4 लाइनें में कहना चाहूँगी. उस कमीज़ में सिलवटें वैसी ही पड़ी हैं जैसी तुम्हें पसंद थी. उस कमीज़ में सिलवटें वैसी ही पड़ी हैं जैसी तुम्हें पसंद थी. ध्यान रहे झटकने से कहीं वो चली ना जाए. ध्यान रहे झटकने से कहीं वो चली ना जाए, क्योंकि तुम्हारी खुशबू तो उन्हें कहीं अटकी है और उस खुशबू में अटकना शायद अब रास आने लगा है मुझे. थैंक यू सो मच. यू हैव बीन एन अमेजिंग ऑडियंस.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Same question to you. How long have you been writing?
So I wrote my first poem when I was in class 5th, and then
My
for like it was just 1 or 2 poems. Then finally I started writing when I was in class 10.
okay.
So it was a creative writing competition, and everybody thought it was like calligraphy competition, but then on the spot I पता चला नहीं कुछ लिखना है. So that was
Sweet.
the first time I wrote a piece in Punjabi.
Oh.
Yeah, then I titled it, and then since then I've been writing.
Do you know? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Okay, okay.
But my teacher was so great; she kept it with herself.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. That's really cool though. And then you continue writing.
Yes.
Okay, that's really cool. But it's nice, like usually a lot of it has to do with heartbreaks, but both of your stories don't have anywhere close to it. It's something to do with teachers, school. That's really cool. Did anyone else from this gang, whoever's left, did you start writing because of a heartbreak? Any of you?
Not.
I don't know why I expected a little bit from Dhruv, but no, मतलब मेरे को बस without closing.
You know me all too well.
Which grade was it, or which school or college?
College, yeah.
College?
Second year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I started. Matlab, that's when it happened.
That's what it. That's what I didn't want to. You said that's where, and your face just like went back in time.
I thought we were not giving triggers.
Sorry. Oh shit! I can't give Dhruv his own trigger and be like back in time. Oh, that's cool. And you said when was this?
About a year back.
Oh, okay, year back. Okay, cool. I don't want to say years to more heartbreaks, but years to more writing, hopefully. Cool. So, Group A, Group B?
Group C.
Yeah. Group A, Group B, अंदर चले गया by now, okay? I'm still waiting outside with these.
By the way, which vineyard was this?
This is in Bangalore only, outskirts.
The Big Banyan one?
No.
The other one? I recently went to the Big
Yeah,
Bang.
मेरे को भी नहीं याद यार, एक्चुअली बहुत टाइम हो गया. I should actually look it up. But this was a very low-key one. It was like a local produced this one, outskirts of the city, and it was very well made. I mean, how many of you been to Vineyard? Okay, cool. So I feel like everyone should either ways, even if you drink or don't drink, everyone should just go understand how wine is made. I don't know about other alcohol. I really haven't seen it, but wine you should definitely go. So we are about to go in, and so there are different processes, right, that goes through Vineyard. It's a huge setup, you know. They have a whole plot where they're growing what they need to grow. Then they have machinery, and then they have like storing. They have different production setup. तो धीरे धीरे करके हम अंदर जा रहे हैं एक प्रोसेस में, ठीक है. तो फर्स्ट वी सी ग्रेप्स एंड वी सी ऑल ऑफ इट गेटिंग कलेक्टेड. नॉर्मल, राइट? नॉर्मल. But my classmates were just like, wow, grapes, bro, grapes. They saw red grapes. They're like, oh my god, okay, green pe khatam ho gaya. They were like, red, bro, red, that's amazing, that's wow. And they're like being weird, like you can know something is up with these guys. That's why distillation ka process hai where all the grapes get collected. They're all doing that. And all these guys could think of was, can I like take this home? You know, I need to like crush a few things. क्या मैं घर पे, and the person is just like not able to understand. They're like, no sir, you can't crush anything else except grapes. They're like, okay, fine, okay, cool. So we go furthermore, okay, and then they're showing like things being mixed. They're showing how the process takes, and these guys are very lost in the color and like, you've seen those movies where, you know, when children see that washing machine which goes around and they just stuck their face into the thing. Except that they were adults doing that at an industrial visit. Just put their face into this whole wine thing and they're like, wow, dude, look at the world this is brewing, oh my god. And they're like, sir, you cannot touch that. Please move away from there. And then they had to basically at every spot go and stop them and like, sir, you cannot touch that. You cannot look at that. No, sir, you cannot enter that machine. It's not safe for you. So this went on, okay? This went on. It was crazy because sir को पड़ी नहीं है. Sir का टिफिन और बॉटल है और sir बहुत fascinated है. He was the first person in the row to, and he's asking questions. Madam, how can we do this at home? You can't make this at home, sir. You need a wire. You can't do this, right? These guys are getting crazy. ये सब ठीक है, okay? Because when we finish the tour, there is a store which is selling pints of wine to college students who are about to graduate, have some money with them, and don't mind getting more wasted before going back to college. And this store, so again, I don't know how many of you had this experience. So when I was in college, we used to have a samosa guy who would come in the break. 10 minute ka break hai. The samosa guy comes. Everyone in the grade has to come get the samosa in less than 3 minutes because it gets over. So have you seen that crowd that's around the samosa guy? And so samosa guy is just throwing samosas saying, yeah, you 4, yeah, 3, right? This was like that. Or okay, I'll give you a more cleaner example. Not cleaner, but like, you know when we have government holidays? You know a day before that? Have you tried buying alcohol from a wine store? This was like that, dude. There was like a stall. There were just 2 men because it's outskirts, not that many people are working. There were 2 men who were trying to sell us. And there was like 40, 50 of us just at the counter, just yelling this, you know, yelling that. And it was great. I'll come back and tell you, okay? Let's start clapping. Little more. Can I please have Mandeep? Keep clapping till he comes on stage. Everybody.
हेलो एवरीवन, क्या हाल चाल है? कैसा रहा संडे? ठीक रहा अभी तक? सो पेशे से मैं एक्स कॉर्पोरेट हूँ, फिलहाल बेरोजगार हूँ, ठीक है? बेसिकली आई एम ए स्टोरी राइटर, बट आई डू पोएट्री समटाइम्स. सो आई स्टार्ट विद द पीस. लाइक एक छोटी सी कहानी है जो पहले मैं अपने बारे में बताऊँगा, ठीक है? और मैं चंद लाइनों में बताऊँगा, 2 लाइनों में. तो पहले मैं अपने बारे में बताऊँगा, फिर एक कहानी स्टार्ट करूँगा, ठीक है? मुझे नहीं पता मुझे नहीं पता मैं तुमको क्या सुनाऊं, मुझे नहीं पता मैं तुमको क्या सुनाऊं, दिल का कौन सा दफना जख्म फिर से करे तुम।
अच्छा।
अब हमारी मुलाकात किसी से हुई थी एक ज़माने में, जब हम बॉम्बे आए थे, तब उन्हें इम्प्रेस करना था तो क्या लिखते, पंचलाइन तो कुछ देना होता, तो कभी पढ़ लिया करो हमारी दस्तकों को, कभी पढ़ लिया करो हमारी दस्तकों को, डूबता आशिक तिनके की गुहार नहीं लगाता।
अच्छा है।
अब मोहतरमा है तो थोड़ा तो भाव खाएंगे, उनकी भी है, तो अब फिर से एक और कोशिश की, होठों से तेरे होठों को, होठों से तेरे होठों को गीला कर दूं, होठों से तेरे होठों को गीला कर दूं, ये इश्क का स्वाद, ये इश्क का स्वाद जो लहू है दोनों को सौंप दूं। ये सब तो ठीक था, पर चलता है, थोड़ा वक्त बीता और थोड़ा ब्रेकअप हुआ, तो फिर उस दिन एक दिन उन्होंने पूछ लिया कि कितनी मोहब्बत करते हो हमसे, और तुम हंसते तो रहते हो हमेशा, तो यू आर हैप्पी स्माइली सदा, तो हंसते रहते हो, क्या करते हो? तो मैंने कहा, उसने पूछा इश्क की कीमत क्या है, उसने पूछा इश्क की कीमत क्या है? मैंने कहा देखो जरा, अब तलक मुस्कुराते फिरते। अब ये सब तो हो गया, और एक दिन मैं थका हारा अपने आप को तोड़ के बैठा था, तो मैंने यूं ही लिखा कि अब जब चलो वो भी नहीं है और कोई और भी नहीं है, तो यार फिर सोचा कि मर जाऊं, मौत से मुझे बड़ा फैसिनेटेड, सोचा कि मर जाऊं, कि बेच रहा हूँ परेशानियां मैं, बेच रहा हूँ परेशानियां मैं, मौत से कहो सही सही दाम लगा दे। बेच रहा हूँ परेशानियां मैं, मौत से कहो सही सही दाम लगाए, तो जिंदगी छोड़ उसका हो जाऊं मैं। अब फिर भी उन्हें रास नहीं आया, उन्हें रास नहीं आया, उन्होंने पूछा कि मुझे एक नाम चाहिए तुमसे, उन्हें रास नहीं आया, उन्होंने पूछा कि फिर भी एक नाम चाहिए तुमसे, तो मैंने कहा रब जाने, थोड़ा पंजाबी है, अरे वो कहीं समझ नहीं आया तो पूछ लीजिएगा, रब जाने तेरा मेरा की रिश्ता, रब जाने तेरा मेरा की रिश्ता, पर दुनिया सामने तेनू अपनी कहन नू जी करता।
बहुत अच्छे।
उसके बाद एक वक्त आता है जब आप ठहराव चाहते हो जिंदगी में, और आप टूट चुके हो, बट आप ठहराव चाहते हो, और वो शख्स बार बार आपके कंधे का सर रखने आता है, ठीक है? सो वहां पे वो एक शख्स था कि उसने कहा कि, मैंने कहा कि भाई तुझसे कुछ नहीं चाहिए था मुझे, तुझसे कुछ नहीं चाहिए था मुझे, तेरा सहारा चाहिए था, तुझसे कुछ नहीं चाहिए था मुझे, तेरा सहारा चाहिए था, तू तो कांधा भी ना दे सका। शुक्रिया बहुत।
Sorry, but one more time. Thank you so much. Same for you. How long have you been writing?
So I started writing in lockdown only,
Okay.
and I started with TP Tale Story Circle,
Okay.
Where I get into interacted with people, how those stories built up and how those sort of. He was also one of the part of art mentorship. So that's how I started up. Sometimes I usually write 1 or 2 lines. Usually I'm a 2-liner guy.
Yeah.
So मैं उसी में तब्दील करके छोड़ दिया करता हूँ चीज़ों को. Then I realized कि poetry is something I get into it. So अभी मैं अहमद फराज, फैज़ अहमद फैज़, बशीर बद्र साहब, जिनको पढ़ो, जिनसे मेरा ताल्लुक काफ है, और जहाँ बहुत सरलता से हम लिख पाए, तो I just don't want to use बड़े words.
Yeah.
जितनी सरलता से. So that's how I started. It's been a journey of around 1.5 years now. I'm performing like जब भी मौका मिलता है.
Yeah, that's good. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Thank you. So we all started buying pints like samosa, and because it was our third year, okay. First of all, I've realized after doing this story a couple of times that everyone hasn't experienced this, which is drinking with all of your classmates in one day, unpredicting. Like you never thought you'd do this, but the whole class is drinking. Like it was so weird because third year tha, so people are getting emotional. They're drinking. They're like, man, I'll never see you, man. This is like, wow, this has been great. For the first time, I saw the topper of my class hand in hand with the most notorious kid, just walking, telling emotional things to each other. You don't expect to see all this, okay? It's very weird. I was already in culture shock कि क्या चल रहा है यार ये. So people started drinking. It was getting fun. It was like a carnival suddenly because sir को पड़ी नहीं थी इतनी ठीक है चल रहा था वो. Somehow sir got mixed up with group C. तब तक group C मतलब वही blend हो गया था. But group C was still tight knit, okay? If you know people who like to fly, they like to fly together. So there's always a group of them. So there's a group, okay? Now, I didn't mention this before, but just for your information right now, okay? Just right now. Sir had a tie. He was wearing it here. I just want you to know, okay? Because later, these kids started convincing him कि sir एक wine पी लो क्या ही हो जाएगा एक wine ही तो है कुछ नहीं होगा and he's like नहीं ठीक है मेरे को नहीं करना है सब and they were like अरे कुछ नहीं होता sir एक wine है कुछ नहीं होता and then he thought for a second and he's like what's the harm right what's the harm and then half an hour later I saw sir around the same bus except his tie was here. I don't know what happened, okay? I don't know how many pints he drank, but while I was just walking around, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, Duffly wale. It has very Duffly wale vibes to it, okay? He's only missing the fucking... Okay, it would be really cool if he did that, okay? I swear to God, I would be like, you're the coolest teacher in the world. So, we could see him कि sir झूम रहे थोड़े, ठीक है? But किसी को इतना tension नहीं था. Everyone's drinking, like it's really a happy, genuine occasion that one, we got away with this shit and we're here and no one's interrupting us and we only have this one sir and nobody else cares, calls us wherever. And I feel like after we start getting inhibited, anyways you lose that sense of like, you're more like fuck the world. So eventually the time came ki okay, we need to, stop drinking and head back. Otherwise it will become a picnic spot for the whole day. A lot of students started stocking up. As soon as they got there, started stocking up. कि बस में इधर रख दो ये डब्बे इधर रख दो एक महीने का स्टॉक करना all of that jazz to go back home and party more. Now while coming, I told you, sir was coming in our bus, right? While going, we left in the big bus. I looked around, couldn't see a guy with duffly or tie. So we were like, शायद sir हमारे बस में नहीं है. But nobody thought so much कि कहाँ है sir? People are like, आ गए होंगे यार. It's not like he'll be, passed out in a vineyard. That'd be very weird though. If he wakes up one day and he's like, I was supposed to be in college, why am I here? The second van with tempo travelers were already, when they came, they were flying. Now they were already in space. And now they stocked up more. And guess who they took with them? Sir. Sir was with them in that bus while coming back, while we came in this. And I'll tell you when I come back, okay? Now you got to start clapping, Very happy to call Dhruv.
Big round of applause for Harsh, guys. अरे थोड़ा और जोर से यार. ये होस्ट है आज के लिए, लेकिन तालियां बजाओ अच्छे से. Great. तो एक he has already established कि मैं बहुत ही दिलजला राइटर हूँ, right? So दिलजली शायरी सुनाई जाएगी आज फिर, because I have to live up to the expectations. But अब ऐसा नहीं है. ज़िंदगी ने और भी कई नए आयाम देखे, कई नए मोड़ देखे, तो जो डाइवर्सिटी है शायरी की उसमें इजाफा हुआ है. पर शुरुआत वहीं से हुई है जहाँ ये बता रहे थे, ठीक है? एक नज़्म है छोटी सी, संभालिएगा कि एक मुलाकात का वादा जो पुराना हो चला है, एक बात
जो लबों पे थमी रह गई। एक राह जिस पर कभी चलकर नहीं देखा, कभी बुलाया किसी ने तो मुड़कर नहीं देखा। एक ख्वाब जो अकेला चला जा रहा है मगर फिर भी कल पे टला जा रहा है। एक रात है जो कटती नहीं है, एक दिन है जो ढला जा रहा है। एक शहर है जो कभी सोता नहीं है, एक शख्स है जो अब रोता नहीं है। एक अंजाम जो हासिल होता नहीं है, एक इरादा जो कभी थकता नहीं है। एक दोस्त मैं जिससे मिलता नहीं हूँ, एक महबूब जो मेरा होता नहीं है। जाने के शोर बढ़ा जा रहा है, आज़ाब सा दिल में पला जा रहा है। दौड़ती है जैसे बम्बई लोकल, एक सिलसिला है जो चला जा रहा है। शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। और थोड़ा वक्त है मेरे पास अभी भी। एक गज़ल आप लोगों के हवाले करना चाहूँगा मैं, उसके कुछ शेर। मुझको बर्बाद करके जाएगा, मुझको बर्बाद करके जाएगा, क्या कुछ एक ख्वाब करके जाएगा। मुझको बर्बाद करके जाएगा, क्या कुछ एक ख्वाब करके जाएगा। नज़रों से अभी उतरा नहीं हूँ मैं, वो मेरा हिसाब करके जाएगा। नज़रों से अभी उतरा नहीं हूँ मैं, वो मेरा हिसाब करके जाएगा। और तेरा आना है एक लत की तरह, तेरा आना है एक लत की तरह, तेरा जाना नासाज करके जाएगा। तेरा आना है एक लत की तरह, तेरा जाना नासाज करके जाएगा। तेरे शहर से सीखा ओढ़ना हंसी, तेरे शहर से सीखा ओढ़ना हंसी, तेरा गम बेनकाब करके जाएगा। तेरे शहर से सीखा ओढ़ना हंसी, तेरा गम बेनकाब करके जाएगा। और वक्त है अब भी कर ले मोहब्बत, वक्त है अब भी कर ले मोहब्बत, ये रंज सब राख करके जाएगा। वक्त है अब भी कर ले मोहब्बत, ये रंज सब राख करके जाएगा। और हुस्न टकराया दरिया से गरजो, हुस्न टकराया दरिया से गरजो, पानी को शराब करके जाएगा। हुस्न टकराया दरिया से गरजो, पानी को शराब करके जाएगा। और ये आखिरी शेर सुनिएगा कि मैं पहले भी कहाँ था सवरा हुआ, मैं पहले भी कहाँ था सवरा हुआ, वो मुझे क्या ख़राब करके जाएगा। शुक्रिया शुक्रिया शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। और थैंक यू सो मच गाइस, दैट्स माय टाइम। थैंक यू सो मच, यू बीन लवली ऑडियंस।
Thank you so much, Dhruv. We already asked when you start writing, but what do you do about your writing? How do you go about your writing? How regular do you write?
It's not been very regular these days, but what I personally follow is that I let a thought graduate into something more than where it started, and when I think it's it's ripe enough for me to just put it down on paper, that's when I just go about it. Basically, I allow myself time to think more about something that I'm gonna write. That's
So if you think of a topic, you don't really be like, chalo main iske actively I'll think about this. You let it brew whatever, and then when you feel the time is right,
probably not that passive, but when I do start thinking about it, I just don't immediately get down to
you
writing.
take your time.
Yeah, I take my time.
It's really cool. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool. तो सर चले गए वो बस में, हम लोग आ गए कॉलेज. It was casual for us. We were all very tipsy and happy, and we were like, it's been a fun day. And it's been like, so generally industrial businesses are very boring, okay? Like, there is this company which makes milk and milk products. It's called Nandini. It's based out of Bangalore, and they do a lot of it in South. Nandini was opposite my college. So our industrial visit one time was literally go at 9 o'clock, come back at 12 o'clock, eat lunch, and then attend class, which is boring. Like, why would you want to do that? So this was a fun one. Like, it was a highlight कि 3 साल का इतना सारा हमने किया. It came down to this moment. हमारे बस हम मज़े कर रहे, ठीक है. Again, this is like, was the movie हम साथ साथ हैं? Okay, this is like the song ABCD. This was like that. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. It's a great moment, okay? The small van, I'll show you the construction of the how people are sitting. The first set of people sitting in the front were drunk, tipsy, drunk, drinking. Center wale were a mix of both. They were flying and they were drinking. The last set of the tempo were all flying, okay? Yeah, that was the departure. If you had to go there, you will fly out. So that was the scene of the bus. Sir is in the center of the tempo traveler, okay? Very weird combination. Center. Still his tie in his head, he's still in the center, okay? वो अपने मजे कर रहे हैं and everyone's having fun. It was a good, like, it actually turned out good. We were like, okay, let's do this. For some reason, the people in the front were very active, okay? And also, the van was divided in terms of activity. The drunk people were more active compared to the flying people. Flying people were just lying there. They were like, oh, they were reacting to things like 20 minutes after it got done. So, someone from the first bunch, the drunk bunch, started yelling sir's name. Okay? किसने ऐसा चिल्ला दिया सर का नाम? मस्ती हो गया. One more time someone else yelled his name. Now also it is मस्ती. ठीक है. थोड़ी देर बाद शांत है सब. Sometime later again someone yells his name. And then he is in the bus. He gets up, looks around, okay? So now there's a lot of noise, commotion, music, smoke, bottles. There's a lot happening at once. So he's not able to take it. And I feel he must have flew somewhere because of what was happening. So vapas, people started, shouting his name from front, from back. He's very alarmed suddenly. He doesn't know what to do. So he's looking around, kuch samajh mein nahi aa raha hai. He had a student next to him. His name was Laksh. Okay, my classmate's name was Laksh. He was sitting next to him. तो आसपास लोग ये सब कर रहे I don't know what happened, what triggered the professor. He got up, okay? He started abusing. Started with English, went to Hindi, a little bit of Marathi, just for like, no one understands this, fucking take this. And it's odd, okay? It's odd. It's honestly odd to listen to your professor abuse. It's normal for students because you grew up in that. And he's just pointing at people and he's just doing this, and the people sitting behind are just laughing. They think कोई performance चल रहा है, ठीक है? तो बस देख के हंस रहे. वाह सर, मजा आ गया. One more time, sir. One more time. The people in front are out of context, are drunk, and they're triggered. Right? Now, stone people triggered differently, drunk people triggered differently. Drunk people started being a little more riled up. Saying, गाली क्यों दे रहे हो सर? ये क्या है? वो क्या है? And he's like, तुम सारे वैसे हो, तुम सारे ऐसे हो. And they're like, अरे भाई. The back row is still laughing. They're like, karte raho apna. Finally, there's a big tension starts building. Then this whole set of kids come and make us like a semicircle in a way. And they're all on sir's face, just barging, just yelling, just saying things. Now Laksh was next to sir. Laksh had not done anything, okay? I mean, he was just present somehow, unfortunately, in that circumstance. He was next to sir. If all this is happening, okay, the tension is built. Now all sir does is takes his hand, okay, his hand, and bites it.
Why?
Because he's just riled up. And he's like, I don't know what to do. So he just takes his hand and just bite. No, he doesn't take his own hand. He takes Laksh's hand. Laksh uske baaju mein. Laksh ka haath leke kaat diya. He just bit him, dude. Like, so fucking absurd, okay? He bit him.
Crazy.
Yeah, he bit him. Now, the back row is still like, great one. The front row is all like, it was that sudden, drinking again, alarm. Sudden, something happens and you're just like, what? Like, did my parents find out? Like, so suddenly they're just looking at it, they're like, wow, how do we process this information, dude? First he abused, his tie is still on his head, around his head. And now he just bit him. And he's in that position for a while, okay? It's not like as a card. Just bit him and he's just looking. And people are like, bro, you gotta relax, man. This is not the way to resolve any fight. Okay? If you're angry, we understand. Now, we've reached, ठीक है? अपना A, B, C, D, F, G करके मस्त जा रहे हम लोग. What happens in the other buses? All of this is happening. The one person that gets really annoyed is the टेम्पो ट्रैवलर ड्राइवर. Okay, he's like, what the fuck's happening? My van dude, कुछ भी चल रहा है ये लोग, ठीक. So he does the next best thing. These guys are still in the outskirts of the city. We have entered the city, we are hitting the traffic, we're going to reach college. They are still outskirts. He does the best thing. He removes Laksh and Babu Bhaiya and kicks them out. And he's like, you guys get out of the van, you guys are creating chaos in my bus, get out. ठीक है सर, और उसको निकाल दिया है बीच रास्ते में. Okay, there is a traumatized student whose hand is bit by his own professor, who now has to carry his drunk professor back to fucking college. Do you see how weird this is? Carrying your... I can't, okay? This is... Who carries a drunk professor to college, dude? This is the most bizarre. So they are now outside of the city. The tempo is left. The back seat is still like, pass it, bro. This is the best day of my life. The front row is just like, they're still trying to like calm down and try to really understand what's happening. And then I'll come and tell you. Okay? Cool. Let's start clapping. Let's start. Can we please have Nalini? Oh, ये क्या हो गया भाई? थोड़ा.
Let me take a moment. मैंने कुछ ज़्यादा इमेजिन कर लिया गाइस. आई लाइक ओके लेट मी. हाउ डू आई गेट सीरियस नाउ यार? सो किसी ने घर की बात कही थी, आपने शायद. तो घर पे मेरा भी एक जाविया है, लेकिन आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी डिफरेंट. वेन एवर वी राइट ऑन हाउस और होम या घर छोड़ने की जब हम बात करते हैं तो मोस्टली लिखते हैं कि हमें ही कैसा महसूस हुआ. पर कभी सोचा कि घर को कैसा महसूस होता होगा? अभी रिसेंटली ना माई मदर वॉज टॉकिंग टू माई लिटिल सिस्टर. सो मम्मी बहुत ऐसे ज्ञान व्यान दे रही थी, तो उसकी आदत हमेशा वो दरवाज़ा मार कर निकलती है. तो माई मदर इज़ लाइक यू शुड नेवर डू दैट. ऐसे दरवाज़ा मार कर नहीं निकलते, क्योंकि किसी के आने का सबसे ज़्यादा इंतज़ार एक दरवाज़ा करता है. इट एक्चुअली स्टक इन माई हेड, बट ये पोम मैंने पहले लिखी है उससे. बट या जैसे घर को भी फील होता है, तो उस पर है कि रात मौन रही रात के समान, रात मौन रही रात के समान, मैं मौन रही काट के समान. समय मौन रहा लोग मौन, बहुत शोर हुआ जब घर छूटा. सुनाई दी मुझे हर उस घर की आवाज़ जिसे छोड़ते समय मैं रही मौन काट के समान. लोग मौन, समय मौन, घर बहुत चीखा और मैं मौन. थैंक यू. व्हाट शुड आई डू नेक्स्ट? मुझे तो काफ़ी कुछ याद भी नहीं है. जो मुझे याद रहेगा वो मैं सुना देती हूँ आपको. तो इसमें दो वर्ड आते हैं. एक आता है सुखन, का मतलब होता है पोइट्री. तस्करी का मतलब होता है स्मगलिंग करना. तुम्हारे लिए लिखना सुखन से तुम्हारी तस्करी करना है. तुम्हारे लिए लिखना सुखन से तुम्हारी तस्करी करना है. जज्बात के फेरी वाले से तुम्हारे बदले लफ्ज़ लेकर मैं वापस लौट आती हूँ. और वापसी में हर बार ये कोशिश करती हूँ कि किसी तरह उन लफ्ज़ों में तुम्हें लपेट कर बस अपने पास ले आऊँ. पर तुम मेरे कहाँ? तुम सुखन के हो, तुम्हारी तस्करी जो मैं कर चुकी. अच्छा ठीक है. एक इंटीमेसी के लिए लिखा था मैंने कुर्ता. मैंने टाइटल जो इसको दिया वो कुर्ता आपको सुनाती हूँ, शायद आपको पसंद आए, आप रिलेट कर पाए. बेसबर मैं रंग को अपने वहीं खूंटे पे ऐसे टांग आई हूँ जहाँ टंगता है तेरा नाम मेरा साज, और टंगता है एक कुर्ता जिसे उल्फत पहनती है, जिसे फिर तू पहनता है, जिसे फिर मैं पहनती हूँ. तेरा मेरा उसी कुर्ते में आधा आधा हिस्सा है, जिसे रातें पहनती हैं पहनकर खोल देती है, जिसे फिर तू पहनता है, जिसे फिर मैं पहनती हूँ. वही कुर्ता जो खूंटे पर टंगा है तेरे आंगन के, वही खूंटा जहाँ मैं रंग अपना छोड़ आई. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Nalini. Same question for you. When did you start writing?
I think it was in वैसे my grandfather was a poet.
Yeah?
So
That's
when
amazing.
I was in like second grade, he used to write in regional languages. So मैं अपने किताब के पन्ने फाड़कर उन्हें दिया करती थी स्टेपलर लगा के, you should write.
Yeah.
And I used to like give my pens to him कि and मुझे उस वक्त बहुत कम समझ में आता था. But then as in when I like grew up,
Yeah.
I read my father's work, my grandfather's work, and that's what like it was always an inspiration. But I like myself started writing in the 9th grade.
Okay. But again, any specific incident? Did you have to write for
No,
school?
We just had a Swarachit Kavita ka competition.
Okay. Okay.
And that was a inter-school level ka thing, so I
Yeah?
participated in it.
How crazy was that?
Yeah,
First time you.
First time, and it was my original piece, and I was just so nervous. I was very nervous at that point of time. And it was very some poem on Nadi ki Atmakatha that I wrote.
Wow. Wow.
So I personified a river, and then
Yeah.
I started, how does a river feel and stuff.
And today here you are. I loved it, man. How's feeling? I think it's great. Yeah. Every time I leave a space that I've lived in for a while, it's very emotional to let go of what that space gave you. That's a very great way to look at it. So thank you so much for sharing. One more time. We've come down to the last person, but I will finish it. It'll be weird if I just tell you the story this much and be like, चल ठीक है बाद में देख लेंगे यार अगली बार मिलके देखते हैं. So they were yeah.
और अगली बार में सारे ये लोग होंगे.
Yeah, it'll be weird. Then I'll finish this story and then start a new one and be like, okay, next. And then this is never ending. Never ending, yeah. So, the professor, okay, Babu Bhaiya, and and Laksh were on the road, middle of the city, outskirts of the city. The tempo has left. Those tempo guys also, मतलब जो उसमें है students, they were also like, ठीक है खत्म हो गया. They made peace with it. They could hardly remember what happened. It's like if you could skip their brain and go back, they would go back to morning. There's no recollection after that. So we've come to college. We are ठीक है हम लोग आ गए हम लोग chill कर रहे हैं. College just got over. All the whole college is coming. Leaving college. It was nice to meet friends. Fun finally telling them, we did this today and it's really exciting. Then the second tempo comes. From the second tempo, some kids just walk out and they pretend like everything's okay. They're like, maza to aaya yaar. There were only few students who were still looking scarred that we were like, dude, what happened? And they were like, Laksh. And we were like, क्या हो गया लक्ष्य को? Like, yeah, लक्ष्य के हाथ को सर ने काट दिया. And we were like, what? What the fuck's happening in the bus, man? Why would he bite him? They're like, नहीं उसने काट दिया, सर ने काट दिया, सर भंड हो गए कुछ काट दिया. I was like, oh shit, man, this got out of hand. Then a while later, we had two gates. दूसरे gate के पास, we see a rickshaw stop. We see Laksh walk in our direction. He's looking okay while walking. And we see sir entering the parking lot wobbling. And we are like, कोई नहीं जाएगा sir के पास, ठीक है? You never know what his course of action is going to be. Let him be, let him go home, it's fine. He's gone home. Laksh comes, okay? And this mystery, I'll leave it for you guys also to solve, okay? He came, he had a mark here. When he came, there was also a mark here. No one knows what happened. We tried asking him and he's not answering properly. All he said was, हम लोग रिक्शा में बैठे थे. He's like, मुझे छेड़ना नहीं था, ठीक है? I really had to get home. I don't want to be around this person. After a point, all sir did was look out of the window and just hurl abuses to anything that was out of the window. Just kept doing that. So this guy's scared. He's like, I don't want to do anything. Okay, let him do what he wants. So we're like, how did this happen then? He's like, and then they were all called. So guys, till date we don't know how, where, what happened. We know one mark, second mark का history किसको नहीं पता. So now the driver must have gone and told the teachers and this is the head department of head कि कुछ हुआ था देख लो आप. So now the teachers and the head of department summoned the tempo traveler students to come and narrate what they saw in front of them. Exactly word by word, okay? So they are there and the teacher's like, so what happened? they couldn't act like they were flying, so they had to be very in control of their character. So they were like, yeah ma'am, third rank. They were like, you all went to a vineyard and you want me to believe that only third rank? Yes ma'am, truly. None of us drank. For some reason, just third rank. And then these guys made them narrate the whole story, okay? And it was really interesting because two people were saying something else, two people were saying something else, because they don't remember in sequence of events what happened. They were just like, yes ma'am, we went to vineyard, we came back. Yeah, there is no recollection of what happened in between. And so, this happens, ठीक है, we all go home. We like, ठीक है यार, chill करते हैं, we should relax. Except Laksh, he was card. For fair reasons. He was fair reasons, Vani. Yeah. Next time someone told me bite into your food, he's like, don't ever say bite. Not the right word. We come back in the morning, all sober, to find out that he has been fired from the college for this. And it was really like haunting. Like most of us were sad. But people who did this felt guilty because they were sober. So they were like, shit, yaar, galat ho gaya hai, nahi karna chahiye tha, shit. We should go to him and apologize. I was like, you will go to him now and tell him you all are the reason he doesn't teach in this college anymore. And they were like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm like, okay, just keep at a safe distance from him. You never know. He was drunk yesterday, today he's angry. You never know what he's going to do. So yeah, this is what happened in my college when my professor came with us to an industrial visit. Unfortunately came with us to an industrial visit and got drunk and got fired. Thank you for listening. It feels bad, man. Sometimes. Yeah.
Like, did he eat his lunch?
He didn't get a chance, you see. He lost senses before he could understand tiffin box. I miss him, dude. He was really good. It was really fun. Like, you could do whatever you want in his class, you know, like, he would abuse, it's like Babu Bhai, he would abuse, you know, to Sham and Rajwa, and you're just like, kya cute hai yaar, you know, like, just, yeah. Except the drinking part. The actual Babu Bhai could handle the drink. I don't think this one could. So cool. Thank you for listening. I'll call the last ever person. Okay. You go wild, you go mad, keep clapping till the person comes on stage. Yeah, that's it. I'll come back and say bye. Cool. You know what to do. Go mad, go wild. Clap. Last person. Can you please have Haley Shah? Till she comes on stage.
Hello. Hi. So I like this यार, मतलब संडे को ऐसे नहीं लगता कि हम ओपन माइक में आए, ऐसे लगता है हम मतलब किसी के घर पे बैठ के कहानियाँ सब शेयर कर रहे, चिल कर रहे हैं. सो इट्स नाइस एंड बिकॉज कम लोग हैं तो आई फील लाइक थोड़ा सा ऐसे कॉन्फिडेंस है कि मैं किसी कविता का फर्स्ट ड्राफ्ट शेयर कर सकती हूँ. तो आई विल डू दैट. स्पीकिंग ऑफ ट्रैवल्स एंड विजिट्स, बिफोर आई स्टार्ट द पीस, एक गीत चतुर्वेदी की एक लाइन है जो मुझे बहुत, जिसने मतलब मुझे प्रभावित किया ये कविता लिखने के लिए, ऐसा समझ लीजिए कि मन करता है एक लंबी अकेली यात्रा पर निकल जाऊं, तब याद आता है बरसों से उसी यात्रा में हूँ. तो ये बहुत मतलब मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी ये लाइन, और अब मैंने अपने घर पे लाइक मेरी डेस्क के ऊपर लगा के रखी है, क्योंकि यात्रा पर जाने का मन तो बहुत करता है पर बहुत चीज़ें रोक लेती है हमें अक्सर. जैसे पैसे नहीं होते, आई मीन फर्स्ट, बट अमंगस्ट अदर थिंग्स, आई मीन देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ अदर रीजंस. तो ये अभी इसे कविता भी मत समझिएगा, बस एक ख्यालों का एक स्ट्रीम ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस सोच के सुन लीजिए कि जो लोग अपनी पूरी जिंदगी एक घर, एक गली, एक शहर में गुजार देते हैं, मुझे अजीब लगते हैं. क्या उन्हें नहीं लगता होगा अजीब रोज़ उसी रास्ते, उसी मोहल्ले, उसी जीवन में चलना? क्या उन्हें यकीन नहीं कि उनके शहर से कुछ मील दूर एक विशाल दुनिया है, समंदर है, जंगल है, नदियां हैं. इटली के फ्लोरेंस शहर में माइकल एंजेलो की कब्र है। पेरिस में दुनिया का सबसे प्रसिद्ध टावर है। क्या उन्हें नहीं दिखता वो टावर सपनों का? जब वो आंखें बंद करते हैं, वो दृश्य जिन्हें आप और मैं किसी सिनेमा घर की स्क्रीन की तरह अपनी आंखों पर बदलते हैं हर हफ्ता, क्या वैसा कोई सपना उन्हें नहीं आता? क्या उन्हें नहीं रिझाते घर के बाहर रखे उनके जूते, अलमारी के ऊपर सूटकेस में रखे वो गर्म कपड़े, किसी सर्द पहाड़ी का लुत्फ उठाने को, अपने आज को किसी सामान की तरह भूल जाने को, फिर गाड़ी, ट्रेन, हवाई जहाज़ में सफ़र कर यादों का नया सूटकेस भर लाने को? उनके भी तो कुछ ऐसे दोस्त, पड़ोसी, रिश्तेदार होंगे जो हर दिवाली, क्रिसमस या काम पर विदेश जाते होंगे, जो लौट आने पर उनके लिए की चेन, चॉकलेट्स और पोस्ट कार्ड लाते होंगे। क्या वो तब भी बस मुस्कुराते होंगे, तस्वीरों की प्रशंसा कर अपने खाली एल्बम जैसे घर लौट जाते होंगे? मैंने माना, कल किसी ने मुझसे कहा कि कहीं जाने के लिए तो पैसे चाहिए। मैंने माना ये सच है, मगर काफ़ी नहीं। फिर सोचा कि शायद वो लोग अपनी ज़िंदगी में खुश है। उन्हें संभावना से नहीं, जो संभव है उससे प्रेम है। उन्हें जो चाहिए वो सब वहीं पर है जहाँ उनका घर है। हम सबकी ज़िंदगी में ऐसे कुछ लोग हैं जिन्होंने अपने घर की खिड़की से ही दुनिया देखी, रोज़ अपने आज से कल में ही यात्रा की। एक घर, एक गली, एक शहर, एक व्यक्ति के साथ जो लोग अपनी पूरी ज़िंदगी गुजार देते हैं, वो जीवन की इस लंबी अकेली यात्रा के बारे में कुछ तो जानते हैं जो वो हमें नहीं बताते हैं। तो ये थी एक कविता। दिस वाज, इट्स जस्ट अ ड्राफ्ट, एंड बिकॉज आई हैव सम टाइम, तो आई रोट दिस अदर पीस which is about the lies that we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves a lot of lies on a daily basis, apart from the lies that we tell other people. And I think it's become so subconscious, we don't even realize it. And so this piece is about that. There are lies we tell ourselves often. I think it is a survival instinct. I definitely turned off the light before I left the house. If I don't get this right, everyone will hate me. My mother did not mean what she said about my weight when I was 13. Lying is a scaffolding that holds us until we can repair the damage of reality. It started building when I was younger, when it was harder to separate stories from lies, when my entire universe fit between my two eyes. We move into loving and lying like it is a home. We recognize its rooms and access before we can even spell the address. Of course, my mother loves me. That is why she wants me to be healthy. If I don't get this right, this failure will define me. The lies, they expand and evolve like language, like the universe. My entire childhood, the sun rose in the east and then one day it just stopped. They lived happily ever after till I found out that it wasn't for love. It was for the children. God watches over the children, but He doesn't always listen. There are lies we tell ourselves so often, they sound like prayers, meant to protect us. Now that I am older and less religious, I lose count. My mother loved me the best way she could. If I don't get this right, I will give up. When you lie to yourself enough, it does not repair. It replaces the truth. The temporary structure you built takes over. This morning, I looked at myself in the mirror and said, I will get through this day without thinking about you, even though I was already thinking about you. I said, I am not getting fat because I skipped my workout this week. You know the usual set of lies you tell yourself, you whisper to yourself when no one else is in the room. When the one you love walks in and out of the room of your life like your life is an elevator and they got off before you had the chance to build something stronger, do you whisper unlovable? Whisper unworthy, incomplete when no one else is in the room? We lie to love, love to lie, lie to unlove. My love, to tell you the truth is the hardest thing. But to tell myself the truth is harder still. So yes, God is watching. My parents live happily ever after. If I don't get this right, my mother will still call me. I don't love him anymore. And I sure as hell turned off the light. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's mad perspective to look at things like that. Same question to you. We've had this conversation, but just for everyone, when did you start writing?
When I was 11, I think.
School, something?
Yeah, I mean, basically, my first poem was about how boring exams are.
Spot on.
Actually, but even before that, like now that I remember,
Yeah.
once our teacher asked us to like memorize poems over the summer vacation, but like not from the textbook, like other books. And because we didn't have internet access, I went to a place and I got books, but they were mostly just rhymes, like nursery. And
Yeah.
I was in second standard, so I couldn't like pass them off as good poems. So I just wrote one poem at the time, and
Whoa.
that my teacher like didn't realize that it's actually not a poem by someone, and I just performed it and she was fine.
Wow. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Thank you for sharing. Can you please have a round of applause? That brings us to the end of this open mic. Thank you so much, each one of you, for coming, for sharing, for being this vulnerable. Please continue writing. I think it's very important, very, very important. Remember the reason why you started writing and why you're here. We do this, we have open mics on Sundays and Mondays. The process to get a slot is how you got a slot today, which is say yes in the comment section. So keep watch out for the space for that. On Wednesdays, we're going to be doing a show called Creative Block Party, which is going to happen at Above the Habitat. I'll be performing with a bunch of other people. We're going to have different lineups every week. Again, check out Habitat Space for more. Follow the YouTube channel if you haven't. I have a YouTube channel. The link to that is in my Instagram. So if you know, my Instagram is @YSOHARSH. Why so harsh? Let's be kind. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a great day. Looking forward to more. See you later. Thank you so much.